Okay. So it will require a little bit of typing from my end, so I will make some mistakes. So I will be really nice and slow because I will be looking at some commands here. So we are going to create two folders. So I'm going to go ahead and create two folders on my terminal. Can you guys see my terminal now? Okay. So I can. What is the command to create the folder? mkdir, and I'm going to create a folder for person called Joy. I'm just following what I have on the PDF file that I'm looking at. And the second person I'm going to create is called mkdir Aileen. That is the second person that I created. Now, I will going to use OpenSSL to create the private key for Mr. Joy, and then I'm going to create OpenSSL to create the public key as well. Okay, so let's start with that. The command is OpenSSL gen RSA. So I will be really slow because I might make okay. So OpenSSL gen RSA. It is remembering some of the command, but I'm not going to follow all of it. So AES is what? AES is the encryption algorithm. 256 minus out means to create a file for Mr. Joy underscore private dot, and it's trying to autocomplete, but I'm not very good. Arrows? Thank you. I was trying to hit tab, but previous versions of Linux was tab. To be honest, it is not. So I'm still living 20 years ago. Okay, so Joy is generating his private key. We generated the primary key for Mr. Joy. So paraphrase it is asking me. So I'm just going to give a paraphrase called ABC123. Enter, and it will ask me one more time ABC123. So this generated the private key for Joy here. So I'm going to say ls minus l, and it will show me the Joy private key is created. Can you see that? Joy underscore private using OpenSSL, I have created that. So now I'm going to do the same to create OpenSSL mistake open SSL and gen RSA, which is the algorithm. Which algorithm that I'm going to use? I'm going to use dash AES 256 minus out, and I'm going to use Joy underscore. So okay, using okay. Instead of generate, so we have generated the private key. Based on the private key, I'm going to generate the public key. So I'm going to say RSA minus input. So input means take that file. Which file that I wanted to take? The one that I generated for Joy private, and I'm going to use this command. Using the input of the Joy private key, please generate the file for Joy's public key. So public key will be generated. So now I'm going to say ABC123, and it has created that file. So if I'll say ls minus l, it has now generated the private key and public key. First, I generated the private key. Based on that private key, I generated the public key. Now I will do the same for the second person. So I will try to be faster here. So I will say gen res minus n. I wanted to generate for the second person that I created was Aileen underscore private. And I'm not going to generate the public key first because I cannot do that, right? I will first have to generate the private key. So I will do that. So open RSA and say gen RSA minus which algorithm? Minus AES 256. I'm going to generate AES 256. And this is a kind of a good repeat that we are doing. So we are seeing that. So Alien's private key will be generated now. Same thing. I'm going to, for this Alien, I'm going to use PQR123 for now. PQR123, enter PQR123. Now it asks me that the third file is generated. Now again, same repeat. Using Alien's private key, I will generate what? Her public key as well. So open SSL is good, but I don't want to type the whole thing. Open SSL. And what was the RSA in? If I hit tab, it will work on the Joy, so I cannot do that, so I have to type it, sorry. RSA minus in Alien, and when I do that, at this point, it is giving me the autocomplete part of it, so I'm just going to create that. So RSA minus in, again, Alien's private key will help us generate what? Alien's public key. So now we have 4 files. So again, I'm going to use PQR123. So both are generated for both people. So now I'm going to say, I will provide Alien's public key to whom? I will provide to Joy, and Joy's public key I will provide it to Alien. So I will say CP Joy score public. So I'm going to copy Joy's public key to Alien's folder. So I will say Alien's folder, copy to this one. That is done. And the second part that I'm going to do, copy, not CP, Alien's public key. Alien, what was her file name? Aliens underscore public. I'm going to copy that in. Yeah, so see, it's now working with the tab instead of the, so it's kind of confusing, but I'm going to copy this guy to where? To the Joy's folder. So both are copied there. I can delete them, those public key from these folders. So now both Alien and Joy has the public key of that. So now I'm going to, as a Joy, I will go into Joy folder and try to create a message for Alien. So I will go CD Joy and I'll say ls. So this is the public key available to me. So I will say, I'm going into the file system here, and where is that now? I wanted to go to the home folder actually. So where I am, I'm in Joy, and I'm going to create a new text message, new empty file. Hopefully it let me create that, and I'm going to say hello.txt. Yeah, hello.txt. I'll create that file, and I'll say here something inside super secret message. I'm not worried about typing here. And file, save that, exit out of this. So now I have that. So I'll go back to my command prompt. Now I need to encrypt this file. So I'm going to say open SSL. I think one of the keyword is, I think, got deprecated. So we will figure that out. It will show me that don't use this, use the deprecated keyword. So we will see that, but I'm going to write it now. It will give me that that instead of using this, please use the other one. So I have this a little bit older document, but I will do that. RSA utility to encrypt, RSA utility to encrypt AUTL, actually AUTL, yeah, RSA AUTL encrypt which file? So encrypt in key means the file that you wanted to give. So minus in key is also what? Minus in key is the text that you wanted to give, and the key that not the text, the key that you wanted to give, which was that alien's public key that you have already copied it. So alien underscore public dot PEM minus public minus in, and the file that I created, hello.txt file that I created, and minus out. I wanted to create an encrypted file, so I'll call it encrypted underscore file dot txt. So now I'm using OpenSSL RSA utility to encrypt using the key that was given to me by Aileen, her public key. I'm going to use to encrypt the file minus public minus pub in, not should be minus pub in instead of public. So sorry about that. I'm going to correct that. Pub in minus in, because you are inputting the file, so you have to type 2 times in. One time is the pub in, second time is the file that you wanted to give, minus out encrypted file. So let's see if it gives me that. See, it says that instead of using RSAUTL, please use PKUTL. So make sure that I'm going to change that. So I'm going to go back into this message that I typed, and instead of using RSAUTL, what should I use? PKUTL, and rest of the things will remain the same. So do you understand now what is happening? So using the alien's public key, I'm trying to create a new file called encrypted underscore file.txt. So let's do that. It has created that file. So if I'll say ls now, it is going to show me 3 files. One is the alien's public key, which is given. This is the encrypted file. Let's go and try to open this file now. So I'll go to the joy folder. If I open hello.txt, it is already the plain text, but what is this one? Encrypted text. So now you see the whole garbage in there. Nobody can watch this file inside. I would never try to read this. So now it is the encrypted file that is being generated. So now once the encrypted file is being generated, I'm going to copy this file where? I'm going to actually be fast on it and copy this file. And give it to whom? I'll give it to Aileen and say, hey, here's your file, deal with it. So same thing. If I would have sent it over the email material or whichever way I have sent this file, Aileen will use which public key? Aileen will use her private key to decrypt it, right? So I'm missing that file, but we'll see that where it is now. So if I'm standing in Aileen's folder, I should have what? I should have Aileen's private key copied, which I did not did. So let's go back and check it if I can. Yeah, Aileen's private key. Here's Aileen's private key. So I'm just going to copy it and give it to where? So now when Aileen will receive it, because I encrypted it using Aileen's public key, I should be able to decrypt it using Aileen's private key. So this is the last step of this message, last step of this whole thing that I was showing you. The last step is open SSL PK utility. But instead of encrypting, what I'm doing now, I need to do what? Do a decrypting part. So what I will do actually, I will play a little smarter. Instead of typing whole of this, I have it in my cache, so why not use that? So I'm going to delete it, the entire thing, and I'll say D. When I say D, it is going to read that. So let's read this, what is happening here. So I'm just going to broaden my screen here. What is happening here? I'm going to say Aileen has received it, and now Aileen will decrypt it using her private key. Bob encrypted it using her public key. Now Aileen is decrypting it using her private key, and the file she received is what? File she received is encrypted file.txt, and then it's up to her whether she want to create hello.txt or she want to create top secret.txt, whatever file she wants to create. Let's create this. Could not open the file or encrypted underscore file.txt. So because where I'm standing in the Joyce folder. Where should I move myself to? cd dot dot, I'll go cd Aileen. So I'll go to Aileen's folder. Here you go. ls, do this. So there are 3 files. So let me retype that command. What is that command? OpenSSL pkutil. You are not using RSAUTL anymore because it's not used anymore. But we are decrypting using Aileen's private key. We are trying to convert it. And when I do this, it is asking the paraphrase for Aileen private key. Only Aileen can decrypt it. What was that I gave? PQR123. And when I'll say enter, the file is probably ready. The top secret file is now ready. So if I'll say ls-l and run this, what has happened? Top secret file is ready. Let's go, and what can I do? How many ways I can view this file now? Where is that? Go here, go to Aileen's folder. And if I double click on this top secret file, here's the super secret message. So I'm able to decrypt it using our file. So these are some of the steps that you guys are seeing. So do you understand the whole working of it now? Public keys, private key will generate what? The public key. We generated it for both guys. Then we shared the public keys among each other. You give me your public key and I'll give you my public key. Then using my public key, you will encrypt the file. You will create a file, then you encrypt that file. You send it over to me through the email or whichever medium you wanted to send it to. Once I receive it, I will do what? I will try to convert it into using my private key. I will try to decrypt it. So the whole asymmetric process is being completed.